Hi everyone, Einat Kessler here with a new video tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to make inchies and twinchies from paper scraps. So I have here some papers that are left over from a project that I finished. It was a really fun project. But I have a lot of small pieces and I have a problem throwing away any leftover papers, especially papers that I really like. So I'm going to show you how to use them. So I'm cutting a black cardstock to squares. So I'm going to use two sizes of squares. One is 1 inch by 1 inch, and they're called inchies. And the second is 2 inches by 2 inches. They're called twinchies. Now, inchies and twinchies are really fun paper projects to make. And after they're ready, you can use them for lots of things. You can use them as embellishments for other projects like cards, scrapbook, pages, notebook covers, gift card holders, etc. You can use them for magnets on your fridge or somewhere else, and you can use them to switch with other people, to trade, like trading cards, like ATCs. And basically they're just really fun to make. So for example, when you make a mini album, you can use the leftover papers that you have after finishing the mini album to create lots of inserts and embellishments for that mini album. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm cutting a black cardstock. You can use any cardstock that you want. You can even use the cardstock from the leftover papers that you have. So these are my inchies and twinchies. And now I'm going to start cutting out images and squares and strips of paper from the leftovers that I have. There are no rules, just that you like what you do and that you layer as many details as you want. So I'm starting by making the backgrounds, and there are a few ways that you can cut or fussy cut things from paper. You can cut an image like I'm doing right now, and you can cut it around the edges of the image. You can also cut it in a way that you leave a little bit of a margins. If you want, let's say you want something dark to be on something light, or a light margin around the shape to add it to a darker background. You can cut out strips of paper that matches the patterns. You can add squares or circles from the pattern paper as backgrounds. And the idea is to cut small pieces and layer them one on top of the other, so your inches and twinches will be interesting. So I'm just looking at what I have and deciding what elements I can use. For example, this is something that I glued together and didn't use, so I'm going to cut out that little butterfly, the white butterfly on the black background. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I like it, so I'm cutting it out and putting it aside. Remember, these are already leftovers. These are already really small pieces, so if you cut something and then don't use it eventually, then it's not a really big loss. So you can cut things and experiment and see what you like and what you don't like. So for example, in this paper collection, there is a phrase, "when pigs fly," and then there is an image of a pig with wings. So I really want to use that, but the pig is really big and it won't fit not on an inchie and really not on a twinchie either. So what I'm going to do is just cut a part of the pig to fit whatever I want. So you can just play around with whatever you have and then decide how you want to layer whatever you have. So the sentence is long. I'm cutting it into words. The words are going to go like this. So I'm just in the planning phase. I'm just cutting pieces, layering them. I'm not gluing anything yet until everything is finished and until I'm happy with what I have. So I'm just cutting out background pieces and images to layer on top of the background, and maybe some strips. And this is too big, so I'm just going to trim it to size. And you see there is not a lot of measuring or a lot of accurate cutting, just playing around with leftovers. Now it fits. This one will go on this one. So the layering of different pieces of paper really adds not only color and interest, but details. And the more details you add, the better your final project will look. So I want this blue piece here. It will go somewhere on one of those little inchies. And the really cool thing is when you use leftovers from the same paper collection, you end up with a series. And the series, everything matches to everything because it's the same paper collection. So the colors match and the theme match and the images match. So it's really fun to use it later as embellishments on a project, or create a series of cards or gift card holders or placements cards or bottle tags, or whatever you're creating. You will have them already ready to use. So I cut a little butterfly. There are lots of butterflies here that I can cut and use as focal points and as details on my Inchies and Twinchies. So I just keep on cutting things from leftover papers that I have. And I'm not going to use all my leftover papers, by the way, to make Inchies and Twinchies. I have lots of leftovers. This is just one idea how you can use those paper scraps that you have, and how you can not throw them away. I really hate throwing paper away, especially, like I said, especially those I like. So basically I'm trying to use every single piece that I can to make sure that I maximize all my supplies and all my papers. I will probably throw little bits and pieces eventually, but not until I'm sure that I've used as much as I can. So there are numbers here, and I'm thinking what is the best way to cut around them so they will be visible as numbers but still fit a small space of 1 inch by inch square. And I'm just keeping in mind that I can use different patterns and colors, and they will all match because it's the same paper collection. So I'm trying to make sure that I have similar pieces on at least 2 of the Inchies or Twinchies, so they'll match together and they will look really pretty. And there is a circle here with a bee inside that I can cut. It's really cool. It's really fun putting a circle image on a square background. Looks really nice this way. I can go hours and hours doing this stuff. It's really fun. I can even use a cutout circle that is not a complete circle to add somewhere. So you see, there are many ideas. You just go along with what you have on your papers. Just play along with that and see how you can use the patterns and the colors and the images on the paper to add to your Inchies and Twinchies. And before you know it, you'll use a lot of those scraps before throwing everything away. So these are my ready Inchies and Twinchies. So I want to show you what I did. And some of them have layers and some of them don't. Basically, I tried to not make it too difficult to elaborate because it is a small shape, so I want things to be visible. So these are just layering of rectangles and stripes in background. Same here. You see it's the same technique. Different colors and different patterns give you different results. And then I ended up cutting away the pig entirely and just adding the image. It looks really better this way. And then added the words, so you can cut out images as well. And this is another one with a butterfly. And for the smaller Inchies, these are two layered butterflies. The one is cut out completely and the other is just in a incomplete circle on a background. It's important to create contrast in your background. These are just two basic shapes, circle and a square, that are on the black squares. And I want to encourage you to please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click on the little bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video so you won't miss anything, and you'll be able to follow all my tutorials and make all the projects. I really hope you like this tutorial and that you will use some of your paper scraps to create Inchies and Twinchies. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time.